gold for your in my country and you receive in yours, in his country he already had all the gold. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to work because the labor that he had was based on his national name. But because he don't want to acknowledge that, he's now put outside of that. You see, by his own right. So he goes to the so-called white man, okay, and says, "Cool, I'll come with you in your country to do that." So the white man say, "Cool. What we're gonna do is this: you're gonna work for me for a certain amount of time, and I'll pay you back this money. But while you're working for me, these titles that you've been calling yourself in regular society, like black, Negro, color, whatever, I gotta write these as beasts of burden. I have to list you as a beast of burden in it." He's not necessarily telling him this straight up, but it's implied in the fact that when he signs, he got to give up his estate. So what happens is his estate is abandoned. So now his owner becomes the ruler of his estate. So now, so long as the owner owns him, he owns the estate that now he has the right to set up in his name, which means then the so-called fake owner takes the name of the so-called slave without the ill. So then this became the process of the European white people started taking our so-called English names for their own. You see? Because now we were under them in the false jurisdiction, because now we were working for them as colorable titles and not Moors. So to move us further away from our epicenter, they flip it. They say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to list you now as an enslaved African. We're going to list him as an enslaved African who was taken from Africa, right? Mm-hmm. But this enslaved African is now imported from England. But where's England at this time?
The 13 colonies.
Exactly. So then we put him on the Mississippi, a boat, and ship him down the Mississippi River. But on the manifest, we list the Mississippi River as the Atlantic. So we're taking the African from Africa. Africa is his original state, which is really a Mexim. But we're not listing it as a Mexim, we're listing it as Africa. Then we're saying that he is now imported into England, because he was. His true title was taken, and now he is given a fake title, which is his so-called slave name. Then he's put on a boat down the Mississippi, but the Mississippi is listed as the Atlantic Ocean in the manifest. He gets off the boat at the mouth of the Mississippi in Greensville or whatever, and now he is listed as an enslaved African. If he then gets shipped to the plantation or works on the whatever, let's say that's where he is in America, but let's say they ship him to Spain. He gets off the boat in Spain, he's an Indian. He's an American Indian. But then if they send him or ship him to Portugal, he gets off the boat, he's a Guinea. If they ship him to the continent of Africa, he's listed as a Kafir, right? Or a Negro, right? Then once he's shipped from Africa back to the continent of Africa, now back to real Africa here in America, he gets off the boat as a nigger or a Negro. And now he has to buy his freedom. You see? So while all this is going down, our country is divided, which is why the pyramid is broken from the eye to the body. That represented our disunity at the time that this is going down. So they just start shipping these people out. So pretty soon there's not enough people that's people in our original republic. And now those so-called renegade Indians, as well as the Moors that was over them, who they referred to as the Big Buffalo people, they now have to use their clan name as their national name. So let's say you was Red Bear Bay or Red Bear Ill of the Charatagi. Mm-hmm. Now that Ill or Bay is gone from your name, you are now just Red Bear, and now Cherokee becomes your nationality. You see what I'm saying? Your tribe now becomes your nationality, where your tribe was reminiscent of your nation. The tribe now took the place of the nation, and then from the nation they broke the tribe down to the clan, and then from the clan they split them apart. And then that's when the white man started to enslave everybody, because everybody started using colorable titles to make treaties with him. That's why he never had to honor them, because he made the original treaty with the original Moors of the original Al-Moroccan Society of Republican Estates, who had abandoned their estates You see what I'm saying? For a certain period. So chattel slavery begins in 1779. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes on until when they say 1865, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then that means chattel slavery only existed for 85 years. So how have you been in bondage for 400 years? That don't make no sense, especially when the country is 238 years old, and of that 238 years, they've been at war for 209 of them. Excuse me, 209. They've only had 39 years of peace. No, you have to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed.
So